Ashport, a city on the brink. The winds of the restless sea are thick with the soot and grime of progress. The continent of Valdara is a land of adventure and magic, and while it is dragged through the smoke and into the light of a modern age, the Birchfield Institute and its operatives, the Proctors, lead the charge.
So it turns out we're not the only ones stuck here in the Drow City. A pair of silver-pinned proctors, Ritfin and Elnan, managed to survive down here long enough to be taken as slaves, complete with exploding neck collars if they try to escape. Since missing a head isn't exactly part of my medical expertise, Merrick snuck around Lutana's manor to find a special set of gloves that would help us remove the collars from our new comrades. Sneaky as he is, he even managed to slip past the employees of Lutana's basement dungeon, and avoided coming face to face with a Mama Flumph. We've got the means to make a break for freedom, plus a hint of a plan. Sort of. But now there's the house party to contend with, and before that got into full swing, Bonnie actually pushed some of her social weight around and found a way to outdo Lutana as the big bad mistress in front of all of her fancy drow friends. Now the whole lot of us, minus Ritfin and Elnan, are heading out to meet the avatar of an underground spider god. We're gonna go try to grab that God's Bedamned book if we can, and I just hope that those expendable-looking slaves that are following us to the temple don't mean what I think they mean. I have a really bad feeling about this.
So you guys make your way over to the temple. They go in, and as they walk in, the drow priestesses all say a little prayer in Undercommon, and they head on in.
Say a little prayer for you.
Misery takes the servant over one way, as is directed by Lutana. Lutana kind of motions for Misery to head over that direction. Misery kind of looks at you and just tells you guys to stay there. And she takes this other servant, again, that you guys hadn't really met before, over to this large basin, and he starts washing and himself with this water in this basin.
What's the mood of that servant getting naked and bathing themselves?
Just seems to be doing it. Doesn't seem to be any issue. And the others kind of turn towards Reed. One of them comes over and says, so how did you acquire so many servants on the surface?
Well, servants on the surface is not necessarily an unheard of thing. However, slaves, there are black markets and such to acquire such people.
Black markets? I don't understand that. What makes a market black?
It's secretive. It's because it's in what is considered proper society. Slavery is looked down upon, and so it's the idea that it is in the shadows. It's figurative.
Are you saying that there are? I mean, obviously, slavery. They don't look kindly on it up there. I understand that. But you're saying that they sell other things in these ways.
Yes, there are sometimes weapons, sometimes poisons. And
these things are outlawed.
In some areas of the surface, yes. Not all.
How interesting. When I made my trip to the surface, I found them to be very concerned with the dealings of others, but I never thought they would intrude in people's lives to that degree. How rude.
Reed nods.
Well, you must have been very wealthy to acquire so many talented servants.
I've counted myself fortunate in that way, yes.
Good. You should. The servant finishes getting bathed, and he kind of just disappears along with Misery down another hall. Reed, are you ready?
Yes, thank you.
Good. Elbalk awaits. And the priestess all go into a room and says, they stop and turn, and one of the ladies kind of leans over and tells Reed, your servants can go upstairs and watch from the balcony. The stairs are there.
She'll turn and direct them. And while she's directing them, since her back is turned, if she can see it, she'll flick a finger towards the door where the elemental grimoire is behind as she gestures them up the stairs. That's the door.
And you guys heard that too, so it's not like they're just not talking to you. And they all go inside as you guys head upstairs. And so, Bonnie, you're going to see this before they do. As you walk in, you're walking into the room that you were taken into before with the avatar of Lolth kind of tucked away into the ceiling.
Oh, God.
And you stand there before each of the 15 priestesses walks around in the circle and stands around the circle 2 by 2 all the way around, except for one spot where Lutana stands, and she kind of motions to the other spot for you on the 8-pointed sort of star around the center. And in the center is Misri, who is finishing having the other servant drink something, and then takes the bowl and walks away as the servant just kind of kneels there. Kind of starts swaying a little bit, eyes glossing over. The rest of you kind of come up, and you see the priestess going around, and this kind of happening in the center. And Lutana looks down and says, "It's time to find out if you're ready to be one of us. Elbalk will decide your fate."
She nods.
Keep your heart open.
Can we hear this upstairs?
Yeah, you guys can hear everything. The auditorium is designed for that. And they all start to sort of hum and chant. And the...
oh, shit, oh, shit, oh, shit.
Nothing happens for a few minutes. And they just continue to sort of hum and chant. And all of a sudden, this very thick, deep spider web starts to twitch. And you see this huge sort of thing twisting and moving inside somewhere deep within the web. Do you need something, Merrick?
I was going to say, if there's an opportunity to sneak away, now would be a good time for Merrick to do so.
Yep, you're away. There's no one watching you at all.
Okay. I'm heading to that room, that door that she specified.
Okay. Anybody going with Merrick?
I would like to go to the book room.
And there's nobody watching me either?
There's nobody watching you guys. Where you're sitting, you can barely see the priestesses. You don't think that they will... You don't think they care about whatever you're going to go do. They are into bigger and more important things right now.
All right.
Bonnie, with all of her roles up till now, have convinced that you are her servant, and none of them are concerned that you're going to do anything wrong.
Great.
You guys have done everything right up till now.
Okay.
Is it just the two, Adelaide and Merrick? Is that what I heard?
We're stealthing up.
Val and Merrick.
Adelaide.
Val is not stealthy at all. So if they're trying to sneak somewhere, even though the priestesses aren't watching us, Val would probably opt to stay and keep an eye on Bonnie.
And Arthur's staying too. And after those two leave, I'm going to cast Silent Image and create a image of Merrick and Adelaide standing with Val and I.
That's fantastic.
Perfect. So the two of you start to head down the stairs, and around this large hallway that goes kind of all the way around, and you guys get to the door that you think is it.
Fingers crossed.
Adelaide, can you detect magic or locate an object or do any of the above?
I can make a puff of wind.
So can I, but now is not the time.
Shut up. No, I only... Minor magic.
Okay, given the level of confidence that I've seen in the drow and all of their trappings, I'm going to open the door.
Good, it's good. Be bold.
It opens. Nothing seems to happen.
Both of our breath, we're just holding it. Okay.
As you open it, along all the walls little tiny ever-burning candles just turn on and just kind of fill the hall, this small library with light.
Adelaide's gonna go in.
As you kind of walk in, you feel some tension under your foot.
That was dumb.
You look down, you don't see much. Give me a perception check.
That's a 10.
So you put your foot down, and you realize your foot has not touched the ground yet, but you're stepping on something, but you can't see it. Maybe there's not enough light here. It is very dimly lit, because dim light is all that the drow need to be able to see. And you kind of lift your foot up, and the tension goes away after about maybe an inch or two up.
But nothing happens, like I don't explode.
Nothing happens.
Okay.
Again, the tension seemed to be something above the floor, just barely above the floor.
So Adelaide keeps her foot back and says, Merrick, I think there's a trap or something.
Right?
Here, like, maybe arcane or something. I can't see it.
Okay, well, I can try. How heavy did you put your foot down?
Not very. I mean, not enough to trip a normal. It's about an inch or so up off the ground.
All right, well, let's try this. So Merrick will get down, like, chest to the ground and kind of try to feel along where her foot was descending, just with, like, his pinky finger, and just see if he can feel, like, a tripwire.
So as you're kind of moving your finger up slightly, you do hit something that is fairly tense and wiry feeling.
Okay.
Well, give me a perception check.
That's a 4.
Okay, but again, you cannot see it.
Okay. I'm going to continue, like, move my pinky out of the way of whatever I felt, and then continue my pinky up and see if there's any other sensation that I feel. Well, it seems to be about 4 inches off the floor, so if you step over it...
All right.
I don't know if there's any more, but...
I mean, at a certain point, let's find out.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's a bunch of fucking spider webs in here.
We're not supposed to talk about that. And Adelaide will put her foot over what would have been what she perceives to be a tripwire based on Merrick's description. She'll try to step over it. As
you are setting your foot gently down on the other side, you feel at least 2 other distinctive sort of pressure points.
Oh, this is like the worst. That was in character.
And as you kind of have your foot on that for a second,
shit,
they vibrate slightly.
I think I tripped something. Do you just sort of say fuck it in these sort of situations? Do you just, like, go for it and, like, not worry about it? I don't know.
Nope.
And as you're holding your foot on it, right?
I kind of don't want to
lift it, right?
Yeah.
So every once in a while, you just feel this. Doom, doom, doom. It is not consistent. It feels like something is vibrating it or plucking it.
Oh, what do I do, Merrick?
Well, I made fun of Val for having chalk, but I also have chalk. So I am going to make use... No, I don't, because my bag is in Bonnie's fucking room. Well...
Yeah, I don't have anything.
How are the walls looking?
Climbable? I guess they have books on them, bookshelves.
I'm gonna climb the bookshelves.
Should I take my foot off? I don't know what to do. She's genuinely like, fuck.
I don't know what kind of trap this is. Yes, it's better to be not on the tripwire than on the tripwire. So remove thyself.
Foot removed. Backing up.
Okay. As you lift up your foot, you brush something that was not there before right on top of it. Like you just hit something as you're bringing it back.
Fucking.
But you can't see anything.
Fucking fuck. It's fucking Val's invisible fucking spiders. Ugh. Merrick, be fast if you would.
So are you still going to start climbing in?
Gotta. Move forward.
All right, so you move forward. Give me a climb check.
And while he's climbing, Adelaide's gonna pull an arrow out and notch her bow.
We'll cut back while you're doing that. Give me the check. What do you get?
I will say that climbing no longer costs me extra movement due to a class feature, second story work.
Cool.
That is athletics. That is a 15. 16 minus 1.
So yeah, you start climbing up. 15, you seem to be doing pretty good. You're along the sides. What is it you're looking for exactly here?
A large tome under glass. The reference section. Which I wouldn't be able to read the signs anyway, but basically like a large book under glass, maybe on a desk, maybe behind a gate. I don't know. I've never been in here, so just kind of casing it.
Got it. Okay. Perfect. No, that's great description. Great type of thing. Okay, so you're starting to look at that.
Something Grimoire-esque.
Something grimoire-y. So we'll cut back. So Bonnie, you are seeing this thing very slowly kind of start to move up inside of this funnel that it kind of created towards the top of this, and you start to see one of the legs just kind of stick and push out as it's slowly just twisting its way. And even though it's moving slowly, like twisting slowly, a large amount of surface is being seen as it moves slowly, just kind of giving awe to the size of it. This thing is a gargantuan creature. The webbing all down starts to just kind of twinge a little bit every now and then. And after a few moments, just a single strand of web, which is about the thickness of a silk rope, starts to just slowly come down towards the center, towards this person, and it just starts to, as soon as it touches him, it just starts to kind of coil and wrap around him a little bit, and then after a moment, it just slowly starts getting pulled, foot by foot up, pulling him up with it. It's a very slow process as they continue to hum and chant. Do you do anything?
Bonnie is wondering if she should join in the hum and chanting and is trying to keep her breathing and pulse steady so she doesn't look like she's panicking about this.
You would guess that no, you would not, because it looks like it's a priestess thing. But
so then she's just being as calm as possible and looking as odd as possible because she is odd. This is huge.
Okay, so we'll cut to the top. Arthur and Val, are you guys doing anything?
Can we see where they went, like the door?
You can see down, but no, they had to go a ways around.
Then no, I'm just going to keep up the illusion. It lasts 10 minutes. I can cast it at will, so when if it lasts more than 10 minutes, I'll recast it and try to keep up the appearance.
Got it. Val, you do anything? They've been gone for a few minutes now.
She doesn't know what's in that room, so she doesn't know how long it's going to take them to find the book or whatever. So she's not freaking out yet.
When is Val going to start freaking out?
Probably if it starts to look like whatever ritual or whatever they're doing down there is coming to like a peak, because if it hits a peak, then it's either ending or hitting its midpoint before it drops back down again. So, and she's even though she's not familiar with Lolth, she is familiar with rituals and church procedure. So I think she'd have at least kind of an idea of when that point might hit. So she's keeping an eye out for that so that she can try to figure out, like, okay, we're either at the halfway mark or we're close to ending. They need to get back here because I don't know what's going to happen next, kind of situation.
And Arthur would say, Val, if you do need to go check on them, just let me know and I'll recast and include you.
All right, I'm going to give it another minute because I'm really, really not sneaky. And then if they're not back, I'll try to find them. I saw which room Bonnie pointed at, so I at least have an idea of where to go.
It doesn't appear there's anybody at all watching us up here, but,
Arthur's just putting, like, magical cardboard cutouts of each of us.
Yeah.
Basically.
I like it.
I'm going to go to D&D Beyond, write to them and say, I'd like to change the name of Silent Image to Cardboard Image per Adelaide's request.
Arcane cardboard cutout. Arcane cardboard.
It's part of the Hobo Wizard School.
Arcane cardboard. Bindle of holding.
God.
They get an animal companion.
They do already get to know thieves can't. Like the symbols and stuff. They can already have that. I did not mean to imply that the homeless were thieves. That was not what I meant to imply.
No, vagrancy and hobos from like the Dust Bowl.
Hobo code.
Yeah.
Be nice for them to be able to create food and water, though, upon joining.
Indeed.
Oh.
Sorry, guys.
This really is the slowest moving thread. It's so slow.
It's like fucking Inception, man. Just boom,
You
boom,
can
boom,
barely
boom.
see it moving.
I'm sure Adelaide's like, this feels like this is taking forever. With her foot lifted.
I feel like we just need Jaws music in the background. Da-dum.
Okay, so Merrick, you are starting to climb along the side here, and you get to a point where you put your arm out and you hit another one of these kind of threads that's going across the room.
Logan, can I potentially, with the bow, follow Merrick? So if something appears near him, I can basically hold an action to get ready to do that? Because, yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm still uncomfortably acutely aware that there's something next to my foot.
As you are training your bow around Merrick, as he kind of pauses for a second, you start to hear kind of at your feet around, like something is pawing there.
Great. This is a nightmare I didn't know I had.
I don't have my thieves' tools. I don't have anything, so
You do have a dapper robe.
I have a dagger, so I did specify that. The string, does it feel like it's perpendicular to where I'm moving or parallel to where I'm moving?
It's from the wall you're climbing on across the room.
Okay, so can I go down a little bit over and then back up?
Sure. So you kind of start going down and around it, and about a half a tick later, you're halfway underneath it, and you hit another one.
Try the other way.
You mean you're going to come all the way back to the door and start along the other wall? Or are you going to try to get around this one as well?
Was I on the bookshelf, or was I not on the bookshelf yet?
You're on the bookshelf right now. You're climbing on the wall. On the left-hand wall, you're starting to climb deeper into the room.
Got it. Okay. What's behind me?
Right behind you, floor. If you can get another maybe 5 or 6 feet, then it starts being walls on both, or a bookshelf on both sides of you.
Did you say that the candle light is the candle light's really dim in here? Like it's just minimal?
That's everywhere in the city, for the most part.
Okay. Did we close the door? Because I meant to close the door.
Did you? You never made it into the room.
Oh, okay. So I'm outside the room right now. Okay.
Yeah, you're standing in the hallway.
Oh, even better.
Because every time you stepped in the room, you were stepping on the strands. You never said you moved into the room.
Yeah, I gotcha.
The only way he went in is because he's climbing.
Gotcha.
So you're standing in the hallway.
That's frustrating.
Have I seen anything that looks like the grimoire from where I have climbed?
No, from the 10 or 15 feet you've made it, no.
Fuck it. I just start climbing.
Okay, so you're going to try to climb past these webs?
Yep.
Give me a strength check.
That is a 1. Not a natural 1.
Okay, so you start
but
to kind of to push back. You're like,
Oh, God.
yeah, it's not going. It's like a steel cable. It's not going anywhere.
What the strand is not going?
The
wow.
strand, correct. You cannot break the strand.
Impressive.
It takes a lot of weight.
Yeah, spider web, compared to how thick it is one of the strongest fibers on the planet.
Especially if you have a -1 strength modifier.
Well, and if you blow it up to gigantic spider size, it's going to be super strong, like a steel cable.
Okay, I'm fine. I'll climb back down to the floor.
Okay. Right here doesn't seem to be any webbing.
And is there a way to move past deeper into the library on the floor?
As you start to move around, you're doing it very slowly, but you start to find that there seems to be kind of a method to the madness, and you are able to work your way back to the bookshelf area, and at that point, you don't seem to feel any strands anymore.
Okay. Then I will proceed deeper.
But it took you a while to get there. You say it probably took you 10 minutes to get across maybe 20 feet in the room just to try to figure out how to get across.
Val would have interrupted that if it took that long.
Well, I figured. I mean, it had been a few minutes already. But yeah, so about 10 minutes total, and you are, Val's starting to get a little concerned. The being is being pulled up into the servant has been finished being pulled up into the center, and you just see this kind of slow writhing movement up there still, and all the chanting just kind of stops. But they are still watching.
That's really disturbing.
Val, you gonna sneak away?
Val, why don't you go check on them? Something's taking too long.
I agree. I'm gonna go see where they're at.
And Arthur puts up a new cardboard slat.
Yeah, and she'll sneak away.
So Arthur is now alone there. And you'll notice now, as you kind of finish that up and Val disappears, the priestess is no longer chanting. Occasionally the ones that you can barely see kind of do look up to see you. Very rarely, but they do double check on you occasionally. They don't seem to be concerned about you, though. Val, you get down there, you see Adelaide with her bow kind of stepping back and kind of moving her feet slightly away from the door occasionally, but wanting to stay there to be able to see in the room. The door is open, but it looks like she's almost like trying to dance or just move her feet away from something. It's very strange.
She's got a look on her face like, trying to keep it together, trying to keep it cool, everything's fine.
Adelaide, what are you doing?
One of your friends is here. One of the ones you can't see, I think.
Oh, fuck.
So I'm trying not to make too much of a noise, but I'll be honest, Val. I kind of want to scream. Merrick's inside, crawling around.
All right. As far as you know, is there only one of them?
Yeah, as far as I can tell.
Val, as you approach the door, go ahead and give me a knowledge nature check with advantage.
You know a lot about horses, at least.
All right, that's going to be a 15.
Tell me about them spiders, Val.
So you kind of you pop your head and you kind of look around just quickly to see what the size of the room is and kind of the composition. Give me a perception check.
Okay, I rolled an 18, so that's going to be a 20.
Fuck, yeah.
So you see just these little glints of the candlelight just catching on something, and you start to recognize the very similar look to what you'd seen before. You would guess, or you're pretty sure there's only one here. And as you see the glint kind of bounce, you're pretty sure it's right here in the entryway. Right in front of you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Val, more words, please. More words than yeah, please.
I think there's only one.
Great. That's great.
Merrick, as you realize there's no webbing back this far, you're able to finally start a proper search. Give me a perception check.
Perception is a 19.
So you come around the corner, and there are 3 books sitting inside of this beautiful display case. They have different language on them, each, and they're there inside of this kind of beautiful just glass and ivory display case.
And how big are these books?
Each one is fairly sizable. It is, about the size of a large coffee table book, like one of the big art books. So it's probably 18 inches tall by probably 12 inches wide.
And how thick?
They're fairly thick, 2 or 3 inches each.
Oh, shit. Okay,
So yeah, you're guessing that it's probably going to be 20, 25 pounds for the books.
I don't have any of my equipment.
If you take all 3.
I will take all 3.
So you go over, you start to realize this display case has no door. It's just glass. Unless there's some trick to it. You want to take the time to investigate?
Yeah.
Give me an investigation check.
Look, how big does this thing that's shoving against my foot feel, just out of curiosity?
The actual part that's touching your foot may be the size of... Okay, this is a weird analogy. A corn dog.
Nom 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 nom.
Okay, that's not that bad. I'll allow it.
That's not a weird analogy when you know what... Okay, anyway, that is a 9 on my investigation check.
So, roll me a d6, please.
Oh, no. Where does the explosion happen?
That is a 1.
So it only took you a minute.
Great.
But you came to the conclusion that you have no idea how to get into this thing. So you took about a minute.
I like
you
that
looked
mechanic.
over, you're like, okay, that's a pretty thorough look. I don't see any buttons or switches or ways, nothing slides. You're like, that's it. I have no clue how to get into this.
Take the robe, put it on the glass, and smash the glass.
Okay. All the chanting stopped, by the way.
And that's where the 4 of us will roll initiative.
Okay.
And we'll be right back to you guys. Bonnie and Arthur, you guys are there for a while, another 5, 6, 7 minutes, and they seem to be getting kind of apprehensive. It seems like it's taking longer than whatever is supposed to happen happens. And Lutana even is frowning a little bit as she looks up. Then all of a sudden, the body falls and just hits the ground, and it has been pierced and is bloated. And is sort of twitching. And Lutana and the others smile and kind of sigh of relief a little bit. And Lutana and one of the others walks over. One has a dagger and the other has a bowl.
That's real gross.
Let's cut back to the fight.
I have 19.
I got a 13.
I got an 11.
So, Merrick, you break the glass and then you hear a skittering at the front. Sounds like something may have turned, like it's coming this way. You grab the books, and then what?
Start moving back the way that I came.
That's it? Just going to move back?
Keeping an eye out for whatever's making that skittering noise. Trying to move as quietly as possible.
Okay, give me a stealth check.
That's a 10.
Excuse me, I'm so sorry.
Books are throwing off my groove.
Alright, so Merrick's turning, coming back. My perception was bad, so it doesn't sound like... You don't think it heard you. It kind of starts to skitter around to different areas. Maybe... Well, it's going to be heading that direction. Val, what are you doing?
Val wants to pull some chalk out of her bag and try to throw it at the spider so that we can see it better.
Give me a ranged attack roll with advantage, since you know these creatures fairly well.
So that is going to be a 17.
Okay, so as the chalk hits over this creature, you see it kind of just barely lightly dust this very large arachnid, but as it hits it, there's this blue kind of swirl, and it vanishes as well.
Ooh.
Looks like anything that hits it or touches it may become a part of its invisibility.
So did we technically...
You saw it for a second, though. You know where it is.
Okay.
You know which square it's in, so now you just have to make sure you hit within that square. Are you doing anything else, Val?
I'm gonna cast, oh, no, I can't see Merrick because he's stealthed. Never mind.
I got a stealth of 10.
Oh, so then she sees you. My passive perception's a 12, and I do have dark vision.
Okay, then yeah, you can see him just barely. About 60, 70 feet away.
So I cast Shield of Faith on Merrick. He gets a +2 to his AC for the next 10 minutes.
Does it say anything else?
A shimmering field appears and surrounds a creature of your choice within range.
Okay.
But it does not say anything about giving them any disadvantage on stealth or anything like that.
Or casting light.
Correct.
All right.
It's just a dark, shimmering field.
It's the Batman of shimmering fields. It's black.
I am
Sometimes
Batman.
very dark
Where are the drops
gray
going?
With nipples. Okay. All right, so you go ahead and do that. Adelaide.
Okay, so I saw it. I know where it is right at this moment.
You know the square it's in, correct? Yeah, you know where it is right at this moment as it's starting to dart away.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to fight this thing. But...
You know also that it is moving away from you. You can make maybe an insight check if you'd like to see if you can tell which way it's going.
Yeah, if it's heading towards...
And do you have dark vision?
No, I do not.
What's your passive?
Is a 10.
So you can make an active perception to see if you see Merrick, and if you do, then you can make an insight check to see if it's going towards him or not. before you make your strike.
Yeah, I'd like to do that.
Okay, go ahead and make me a passive perception first. Perception check, not a passive perception. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's a 4.
So yeah, you
There's a spider and it's in the fucking room.
well, you think there's a spider. I mean, it might be a hallucination.
I could just be going mad.
So go ahead and take your shot at this point. You don't know where Merrick is. You've got to take your shot.
That's another 4 on the die, but I do have a +7, so that's 11 to hit an invisible spider.
Still not going to hit, but because it's invisible, you do have disadvantage. So roll to see if you critically fail.
No, that was a 19, so no, I don't critically fail.
I just want to make you feel bad about the 19 was all. So
Good.
So yeah, all right. So it doesn't seem to react. Well, you guys can't see it. So it starts to move down. You can hear it kind of skittering down the aisle next to Merrick. Val, you're pretty sure you know where it's headed and which way it's going because of what you've learned to kind of spot and watch for with your training. And you see it go differently than where Merrick is coming from. So it did pause, though, with where the arrow shot, but then it continued back. Merrick.
Continue to try to move stealthily, double moving, if possible.
You start to come up, and you hit that wall of where the strings are, and you start to kind of have to climb through them. Give me another stealth check.
Better than last time, 14.
Okay. You're almost to the door. One more move and you're good. Val, what are you doing?
Since it's not right next to Merrick, I'm going to ready thaumaturgy in case it starts heading towards Merrick so that I can make tremors somewhere that isn't Merrick to just confuse it.
All right.
That's it. I don't need to go in and attack it or anything at this point, so...
All right, Adelaide,
you can definitely see Merrick now. Oh, well, maybe not. He's a good stealther. You've only got a 10, you said?
Yeah, I've only got a 10 perception.
Yeah, so you can't see Merrick at this point.
But Val doesn't seem like too freaked out. So, Adelaide's going to pull another arrow, keep it trained on the room, ready in case the spider attacks, like if she senses that the spider's hitting Merrick. Yeah, so I just want to prepare an action to fire if I see the spider.
Okay. So you and I'll let this count if you want. It's up to you. A bunch of books and things start getting knocked down as from about waist high on the bookshelf up. So books are getting knocked off the top, and a few things get knocked off the top of the bookshelves completely. So your guess at this point is resting on the top of 2 different bookshelves. And Val, as you're kind of paying attention and knowing what you see that it's got 2 legs or 3 legs maybe kind of up on against the, you see the kind of that webbing, that little shimmer that you were trained to look for, being pulled down from the ceiling. So you figure it's touching the ceiling, and it just looks like it's kind of waiting.
Like it's waiting to sense a vibration or something?
Yep.
Okay, then seeing that...
You had a readied action, right?
Yeah, I had a readied spell.
When was the trigger, I guess?
Oh, I think I said the trigger was if I saw it heading towards Merrick or sensing Merrick.
That's fine, go ahead.
Okay. Whichever direction he's coming from, it's only a 30-foot range, but I'm going to use thaumaturgy to make some tremors in the room, some small tremors, 30 feet away from where Merrick is, as far as I can make it, so that it's not next to Merrick.
All right. It does not seem to react to that. You're not sure if they're not strong enough, or maybe that's not what it's waiting for, but it doesn't seem to react to that.
Okay.
Merrick.
Once again, going to try to be as stealthy as possible, making my way to the exit.
Are you trying to avoid strands?
Yes.
Okay, because you haven't walked through this area, you climbed on the walls through this area. So you have no idea what is between you and this door.
Did any of the chalk that I threw at the spider fall on the webbing as it went?
Doesn't seem to stick to the webbing.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Okay. What's the floor made out of?
Lava.
Stone.
Okay.
May as well be. I like this fiction. It's very extra. It feels very appropriate.
Okay. Given what I have felt of the strands up to this point, would I be able to slide the books along the floor towards the door without it hitting any of the floor strands? Just given the height.
Yeah, none of the strands you have felt have been closer to the ground than about 4 or 5 inches. So yes, you think you could do that.
Okay. Then that's what I'll do this round, is put the books on the ground and, like, shuffleboard them towards the door.
Okay. You get them over to the door. Val, nothing seems to happen. Nothing seems to change.
Okay. I will put the books in my bag.
You can put 1 book in your bag this turn, or you can take your action to do all of them.
So my action does all of them, but then do I still have like a bonus action?
You have a bonus action.
Okay, so I'll use my action to put the books in my bag, because I have all my stuff, so it won't look weird for the bag to be full.
They are big books, but yeah, that's fine.
She's strong.
I also have said at the beginning that I had thrown the robe over my bag that they gave us, so like the robe is just hanging off over the top of my bag, so I think hopefully that'll disguise some of the increase in weight / size.
Sure. What else are you doing?
That's it.
All right. Adelaide.
I'd like to adjust my readied action.
Okay.
Basically, I basically just let the other action end. Did I see it on the ceiling, or was that was
you
Val?
You just have a guess that it might be on top of the bookshelves because of where stuff got knocked over.
I want to ready an action to fire my bow if Merrick makes too much noise or gets stuck in the webbing. Like something that would, to me, say a predator would then attack that thing.
Okay.
I don't know if I can base it on whether Merrick has a bad roll coming up soon or something. That sort of thing.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, so I'm keeping an eye on to make sure if Merrick is still like chugging along quietly and seems to be doing okay, but if something weird happens where he makes noise or falls or gets stuck, I wanna be able to shoot an arrow off.
All right. And the spider, you really can't see any difference or change in what it seems to be doing. Merrick.
Do I see any of the books that fell, like any of the gaps in the bookshelf from where I am, or no?
Well, you're past the bookshelves at this point, other than the one that's on the side here. You are in the main little area, but open area. But yes, behind you there's a few on the ground.
But not the wall that I need to climb to get out of here.
Correct.
Okay, then I'm going to start to climb.
Okay. Give me an intelligence check.
Oh, boy.
Merrick's a real smart boy.
To see if you can remember where those strands were.
That's a 4.
Give me a dexterity save to not jiggle the strands too hard.
That's much better. That is 21.
Wow.
Oh, thank God.
So you move past the first strand and you just barely touch it, like, oh yeah. So you then climb up a little bit and then down, and then all of a sudden you hit the next one. Give me another save.
23.
Oh, man.
And you go, and you're like, was there 2 or 3? What do you think, Kyle? Was there 2 or 3?
3.
So you slowly start to move over. You don't quite make the door this turn, and then you realize, no, there was only 2. And you're going to have to wait till next turn to get out. Val.
How far away from the door is Merrick?
10 feet, not even. He's like literally right there. You could reach in and probably grab his sleeve. Could you pull him out without having him drag on the ground? Probably not.
Okay, that was going to be my question.
Aim for his collar, just like, scruff.
There is no collar.
I'm going to ready another thaumaturgy spell to try the same thing if it looks like it's going to see him or feel him.
Okay. Adelaide?
Every night in its dreams, it sees you, it feels you. Sorry.
Bonnie's not there to inspire us with too much noise.
It just
because they're trying to be stealthy.
made me happy. I'm sorry.
It's fine. Adelaide's going to do the same thing she was before. She's going to keep an eye on if she thinks that a predator would attack Merrick because of something that happens. She's going to sail off an arrow. She's also sort of trying to remember in her brain some of the arcane arrow tricks that she's been trying to develop, and we'll hold on to that in her back pocket in case something happens.
All right. And then the spider doesn't seem to move or do anything, and then Merrick, you go ahead and you just slowly move out. and step on the other side of the threshold over the 4 or 5 inch mark, and you're out.
Shut the door, we're leaving.
Adelaide would like to try to shut the door slowly.
Thank you.
Adelaide, give me a stealth check.
Okay, that's okay. I say that. I really shouldn't have fucking said that.
I know. I love it when you say things like that. Oh, that was good.
18.
All right.
Whew.
And you shut the door. Deep breaths.
All right, let's go back. Let's go back right now.
Just like sneaking out at night. It's everything's fine.
And you guys start to head back over and up the stairs.
Ah, so our greatest nemesis continues to be bugs of various sizes and visibilities. Hello, Shenanigoons. Angela here, kicking back with whiskey. Not the booze, but my adorable emotional support editor, who you can see at nerdsmith.org/creators under Pets of Nerdsmith. Welcome to our supersized finale of the Conversations arc. I say supersized because I promised the last episode that we only had one more to go, and damn it if I don't intend to keep that promise. So more show for you. If you're a regular listener, welcome back. Thank you so much for returning to hear the end of our first campaign arc. We love you and thank you for continuing to hang out with us. And if you are new to the show, what are you doing here? This is the end of the story. I mean, welcome. We're so happy to have you. Please don't go anywhere, of course. If you enjoy what you're hearing but have no clue what's going on, our very next episode will be our next save point, where we provide a summary of the last batch of episodes and we'll talk about where our characters end up as we level and prep for Logan's next story arc. Since they've both been featured in this episode, we'd like to say thanks again to our listeners Daniel at Madcap911, that's 2 Ds, and Sigrid at SigridGE for their NPC suggestions that became our 2 Proctor rogues, Ritfin Fargem and Elnan. Also, a belated thank you to Sigrid for the name Strahdheim that Logan used for the gross yet kind of adorable Flumph mama covered in baby flumps that was also featured last episode. You are both fabulous, Daniel and Sigrid. Thank you for inspiring some very memorable and beloved characters. If you'd like to chip in your own ideas for NPCs, locations, or magic items, you can give us a shout out on Twitter at the Shenanigoons or using the hashtag Shenanigoons. We want to hear your suggestions too. We continue to be a proud member of the Nerdsmith Network. Nerdsmith.org is a community of podcasters, streamers, and content creators who work very hard to give you the best free nerdy entertainment that we can. Our content stays free, but if you, our amazing listeners, still want to show us your appreciation, you can share the show with your friends or on social media, or even become a Nerdsmith subscriber. When you subscribe to the network, you can directly support your favorite shows and creators. For example, if you decided you might like to support Shenanigoons, we would love you, but also, you would be helping us make the show sound as good as possible. Your support goes towards helping us buy and replace equipment, make really cool things to enhance our listeners' experience, whether that's merch or art or web design, or really cool features for our subscribers to get exclusive access to. And most importantly, you would be helping us be able to actually take the time out of our lives and jobs to be able to make the show in the first place. We very much love playing this game with each other, and we love playing it for you to listen to. So thank you for any way that you might want to support us. If you want to become a Nerdsmith subscriber or learn more about the cool bonus content and the perks you get by subscribing, you can find out more at nerdsmith.org/donate. Speaking of donating, we at Nerdsmith and at Shenanigoons are so excited and so proud to announce that next month, specifically November 1st through November 15th, Nerdsmith will be hosting our first annual Nerdsgiving charity drive. Tons of the Nerdsmith shows and a bunch of our friends from outside the network are getting together to raise money for a cause very near and dear to us. The Trevor Project provides crisis intervention and suicide prevention resources for LGBTQ youth. Young people who are in crisis and in need of help can turn to the Trevor Project's life-saving services, and we, in turn, want to help the Trevor Project do their incredible job. For the 2 weeks of the drive, again, that's November 1st through the 15th, Nerdsmith and our friends will be running some really cool events and special giveaways and making some exclusive special content for anyone who donates to the Trevor Project through our team page. The link will be out very, very soon, so keep an eye out on our Twitter page at We Are Nerdsmith and at the Shenanigoons. We would love for you to support us here at the show, but we would also love for you to consider helping us support LGBTQ youth. So, we are in the home stretch. Thank you all for listening to Shenanigoons, and we really hope you enjoy the finale of our first story arc, Conversations. Yeah, you've made it this far, right? How can you turn away now? It's like looking away from a train wreck. You can't. Is that too soon?
Bonnie, they have walked over, the two of them have walked over to this body, and they've leaned over and they're taking the dagger and they prop this dead body up. Except you realize you don't think he's quite dead, he is just dying. In addition to being dropped, he's probably really just badly hurt. He's probably quote unquote dead, but he's still going through it. And they stab gently underneath the large bite mark where this purple bruise is formed, and they pour some sort of liquid out. It looks kind of a very clearish sort of bloody liquid into this small bowl. And the three of you arrive just in time to see this. Arthur dropping the cardboard cutout, the arcane cardboard, just as you walk up, and they walk over to Bonnie, and they say a small prayer, and they present it to you.
Would you like a nightcap?
It's time to find out if you're truly one of us.
Am I getting the idea that they want me to drink this?
Yes, you are.
Okay.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Can I make a performance check to fake it?
You can certainly try.
I don't know what's supposed to happen. Fuck.
That's the worst that could happen. Come on. It's just body sack juice.
Oh.
Body sack juice? Body sack juice?
Alright.
Oh my god, that sounds so gross.
She does it.
It was meant to.
She puts it to her lips and drinks.
As you are lifting it to your lips, there's a huge explosion from outside.
Oh, thank God.
And shortly after, there is another huge explosion from outside.
Fucking rich.
And people start to yell and scream. And the priestess all start to run that direction. Except for Lutana, who takes the bowl from you and just sets it down, and then she runs.
What's going on?
Do I look like I know?
She's gonna follow their lead, kind of flicking their eyes up like, get home.
And so the rest of them start running outside. You guys run outside. You guys start to run down the stairs. Are you going to follow them out the main front door, or are you just going to duck out the side exit, which is technically close to the house? You're not sure why they don't use it. Your choice.
I mean, to be honest, right before that happened, Adelaide was going to be like, Val, show me the books, Val! Boom. And she couldn't check them. I mean, whatever would be the closest. I would want to get away from the crowd.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys duck out the side entrance. All right, so Bonnie, it's going to take you and the rest a little longer to get out the front. As you guys duck out the side, and she's like, kind of motioning for you guys to get home, the whole front of the house you guys were staying at is missing. It has just been exploded and burned off. And you see running out between the gaps of the buildings, you see Ritfin and Elnan. They're running through the stables, and it looks like they stop and are contemplating taking two of the bats.
Mm-hmm. Fair.
Do you guys do anything?
Val, show me the books really quick. Val, show me the books. I want to see the spines of the books.
I turn my back so that she can dig through my bag.
I just want to look at the spines. I just want to see what they say.
They're blank.
Fuck. Fine. We need to get the fuck out of here. We need to find Bonnie.
I need my goods.
Then we'll grab them.
So, Merrick, your goods were in part of the house that's been blown up. That's where in the front of the house, right next to it, were the guest rooms. So, most of Bonnie's stuff as well, anything she left behind. You guys, if you want to take the time, you could probably sort through it if there's something in particular you're looking for. But at this point, it would probably take you 10 or 15 minutes just to dig through the rubble.
I will buy her a new coat.
Oh.
Oh no!
Oh, your coat.
Oh no.
And everything else I own, because I'm wearing the dress, so I have no armor.
Yep. I will buy her new things.
I will steal me new things.
As you guys are kind of like moving towards the front to try to find Bonnie without being too obvious, you can see Elden and Ritfin is just sitting there nodding with a big grin on his face, and Elden is just like, has this worried expression, she's just shaking her head, and he's just like, yes. And the two of them mount up on, they actually look like they found a saddle, and they're putting it on this bat, and they mount up on this bat and start flying away.
Ritfin, I'll holler out.
They're like at the back of the property, so it is a big yell.
Okay. No. Hey guys, they just got on bats. Should we follow?
How many were in the stable, Val?
There were like 8 or 10 of them. I mean, there's enough for us to ride. Maybe we could say we're going after them?
Then other people will come along. We should just leave.
Let's go.
We need to snag Bonnie, though.
Get Bonnie and go.
So, Bonnie, you come out the front along with all the priests who see the house have been destroyed. They are, like, freaking out, although a few of them are kind of snickering a little. And Lutana is just walking towards her house. She is pissed. And she starts to call out for Misery.
I'll do the same for my group.
So you see them, as soon as you get around the building and are walking closer, you see them off to the side.
I will call them over. I will follow Lutana's lead, basically, and call them to be like, we need to figure out this. And that way we're back together.
Lutana's walking right into the burning building.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
She seems to have no fear.
If Bonnie's calling out to us...
I'm going to motion with the hand. Like,
come here. No, this way.
Yeah, okay. Bonnie will take that hit and exit.
So, Bonnie, as you're kind of looking and you look over, you see them like motioning to go there, and you think, oh, I need to get my stuff, and you turn and you realize that's when it hits you that your room was right in the middle of one of the blasts, and it is just, it's leveled. You don't know how you'd find anything in there.
She just walks towards them and just...
Okay, so you start walking over towards them calmly enough, as the rest are, kind of moving back a little bit, waiting for guards to come, running up, and it seems like they're preparing healing spells, getting ready to heal anybody they might find.
Okay, before we leave, I need to know. Iron flask. Yes? No? No? Okay, no. That's a no. All right.
Let's fucking go!
Fair enough.
No.
Yeah. Let's consider it lost in the explosion.
So Bonnie, when he says iron flask, you do remember seeing something similar to that up in the room, and you were in the ballroom, in one of the art pieces, and you think that room is unharmed right now, but getting to it is still going to be a pain in the ass. So I don't know if you want to mention anything about it, but you do kind of flash that you do know where it is.
Right now, Bonnie's also in shock because literally everything she owned was in her room. So she's just kind of like, nope, let's just, I can't lose my life on top of everything else. Let's just go.
All right. I know how to get to the stables. Let's go that way.
All right.
Okay. So Val kind of guides you back towards the stables. Adelaide and Arthur, Val, you guys saw them with the saddle, but you don't know where they got them. Val, you hadn't seen any stables or any place that they would have stored that. But Adelaide and Arthur, all of those things that you were poring over, included where a lot of things were kept. And you know that around the corner behind the stables, there's a special room where they store a lot of that stuff. And you guys were able to get some saddles, and you go in and get your bats, I assume, are the animals you're going for?
Yes, please.
Yep.
No more fucking spiders.
Okay. So I need each of you to give me a handle animal. And if somebody wants to wait a little bit and help somebody else, that's okay.
I can't help anybody.
Do I get any kind of advantage since I was working with them earlier?
Yes, but I want to know if you want to try to help somebody else first. You easily could help people because you know what they're like.
Yeah, she's gonna help people get the saddles on. I'm assuming Balak showed her, like, you know, when you're grooming the bat, don't touch it here. It likes being scratched here. These are its treats. Like, so stuff like that. There's gotta be some fruit, of those kind of things that they went over. So she, like, gives everybody a bag of the treats and is like, they like these. Scratch them behind the ears. Don't touch the wing membranes.
This feels like Heather prepping us for, like, emergency, like, vet assistant duty at her work.
It's like vet triage. All right, so
did that give us advantage?
Everybody go ahead and make me handle animal with advantage.
I don't need it.
Okay. Oh.
Ooh. It didn't get better.
Got 20.
That's 2 of us.
I got a 22 total.
19.
Yeah, 16.
Mine is a total of a 7.
Okay, so everyone is barely proficient, but evidently Arthur got a testy one, who kind of nips at you a little bit, but you know, it breaks the skin a little bit, but it's superficial. But you're just like, God,
stop that!
Just a love bite.
But it does seem like it will follow the other ones because they did so well.
Not a good
so
boy.
you just got the testy one that like bucks a little bit as it flies and like tries to knock you off occasionally, but you get through it. Adelaide?
Before we got on the bats, Adelaide would have taken the purple robe she was wearing off and put it on Bonnie and like tied it on the neck and would have said really like softly, I will buy you a new coat. And then sort of pats her on the shoulders and goes try to get on a bat. I will buy you new things.
She just kind of nods.
Oh, poor Bonnie. And that's it. You guys take off and you start flying over. And as you get kind of this aerial view of the city, it is really quite beautiful, especially the very giant hole in the side of your former roommate's building. And a few of the priestesses and drow do see you, but they don't seem to think that it's kind of out of the ordinary. They don't really, a lot of you are wearing purple robes, so they're not, they don't seem to be like thinking that you're not belonging up there, except for maybe Merrick. Arthur a little bit as he's not very able to control his very well.
I'm not attempting a barrel roll.
You're not attempting one, but apparently you're doing one anyway.
And after a few minutes of flying, you can see where you guys came in. It's a ways away. It's not easy to get to, but you kind of see a little bit of a light from this area as you kind of continue to fly over that direction. About 10 minutes later, by flight, you cover a lot of ground because you don't have to wind in and out. You see this very large sort of area that you walked through before, the catacombs, but you're on top of it. It's like almost like a mud flat. Like I said, it's like a dried mud pit where it's been cracked and you just see all these cracks and things. But you see a couple of very large, scary looking creatures that seem to be flying and walking around occasionally in kind of the darkness with a little bit of light that comes from the bioluminescence in this area. There's some natural affinity of the cave. You could try to fly over this, or you could land and you could try to go through it. Which way do you guys try to do?
Fly over it.
I'd prefer to not have to walk through.
Do we see Ritfin and Elnan?
You do not see them at this point.
They made their choice.
I vote we fly.
Yeah.
Do we see Goth?
You don't see him right now, no.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, let's try to fly over it and see what happens.
You could have given him a collar. Here's your magic.
Can I try to make another animal handling
Sure,
roll,
go
or
for
does
it.
it just get better?
Come on, have a treat. It worked with Nugget.
Nougat.
Slightly better, a 9.
So it stops trying to knock you off, but it's still not a pleasant ride.
Fuck these dice.
And so you're like, you just continue flying.
Scratch it behind the ears, not in front.
Ah,
Oh, I was just grabbing the nook. Okay,
that's not the way to do it.
behind the ears.
So you guys fly over. It seems like the bats know how to kind of manage in this area and stay away from some of the creatures that it may not want to run into. At one point, they even stop and fly up and cling to the ceiling. These saddles are specially designed to be able to sit in them as they cling. Not you just have to hold on, but they kind of stop and they don't obey any of your commands for a few minutes, as you can't see anything because they're kind of behind the stone, these stalactites, but you hear kind of just large whooshing sound throughout the cavern, and something very big, probably about half the size of the spider that you guys we're going to run into before, Elbalk, is in this cavern, and then a few minutes after that, they start to fly again. They start listening to your commands. And after about another 20 minutes, you guys see the large wall and the crack in the wall where you guys entered this area that will take you back to the Wailing Cairns.
Those fucking cairns.
It's better than the city.
Let's fly over those two.
Can we? I think it's just a wall.
It is a cavern, so no, there's no fly. You can fly through it. You'd be a lot faster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, bats are pretty quiet. They don't squeak at the bugs and want to eat all the bugs.
So, is that what you guys want to do?
They'd be faster, and worst case scenario, we hit the ground and then we have to run. I mean,
Yeah. Agreed.
All right, so you take the bats down and through the little entryway with the large stones on either side. You see Twill and Tweel sitting there on guard duty as the bats kind of flying over them, and they just kind of look up with a start. And the bats are fairly silent. You get them through the crack into this larger room, and they continue to fly through this area. Again, they seem to know how to manage in this area. They are perfectly silent the entire time through here. I want each of you, though, to make a stealth check for the trip.
good boys. Or good bats.
Not mine.
21.
20.
16.
16.
14 for me.
Okay, so you're all fine. Wow, Merrick was Merrick was the only problem child. Oh, that's funny. But that's okay. One was not enough. So you guys continue to make it through as you're flying around. You fly over the priest. Obviously, as you come out, his body's still there. Your little camp is still there. The little fishnet thing has a bunch more bugs on it that you put up. You get about halfway through and you see the little box that Val left behind there that has Adelaide's bug in it.
Hey Val, your arm's off.
Oh,
Shut up.
Nope.
God, that's 2, isn't that? Wait, didn't we do one of those already?
Yeah.
We didn't.
We did them. Yeah, that we did. We did a Monty Python earlier.
We did.
Yeah.
Name it.
Did we do a Holy Grail? We did, right?
Yeah, because we did.
Yep.
Wig.
No, that wasn't on.
Also Wig.
Yeah, Sir Bedivere and Sir Arthur and Sir Bedivere.
Just
Yep.
6 miles
Adelaide.
outside the castle.
Yep, that's 2.
Was that this game?
Yep.
Earlier in the game.
That was a good joke, though. Oh. All right, hold on.
We got to play by the rules.
Oh, shite.
Don't tell the teacher to give us homework.
I'm so sorry, everyone.
I couldn't not say that. Come on.
That's such a good joke, though. Your arms off. It was such a good joke. All right, hold on.
It was worth a roll. It was that good.
Oh, damn. That was so good.
Changed the fabric of reality. It was that good.
We were almost out. We were almost out.
I just like the idea that Arthur told the joke and then just poof, something happened in front of his face.
All right, I need a percentile from you, Arthur.
Oh, fuck.
This is a reminder to our audience that when you make a duplicate joke from the same property, you roll on the wild magic table.
50 even.
I had the suspicion it would never happen. I'm so happy on some level here.
Oh, God. He looks too happy.
As is the world of wild magic. As you say your arms off, such a good joke. Such a good
It's a
joke.
good joke.
Right afterwards, you kind of turn to laugh or whatever, and these pink bubbles start just coming out of your mouth. Like, and it's just like bubbles are just flying out of your mouth anytime you try to talk. And for the next minute, that's all you do is leave a trail of little bubbles behind you as you're flying along through the thing.
As we're trying to be silent, you just hear...
But none of that seems to trip the creatures. So then you land in the next part of the journey, which again you could fly through. This one though, there is no bioluminescence to kind of help guide you. The Canyon of Fur is completely pitch black. So do you want to try to fly through that as well?
Abe's will guide us.
Yeah, why don't you call Abe's? You had your
Caw-caw!
yeah,
Caw-caw!
your effect.
Cuckoo! Everybody, come on.
Has it been a minute? Did just bubbles come out, or I wait for the bubbles to stop?
It's been a minute. That was about halfway through. At this point, you let the bats go, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you take the saddles off and...
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
How about this? I would wait until Abe showed up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because if he doesn't show up, it's been a while, we gotta fucking keep going.
They might be useful to the goblins.
They also might eat them, I don't know.
That's a good point. I don't know either.
Adelaide has started, sort of scritching her bat,
So you caw, and about 25 minutes later, you see Nugget first, as he kind of clomps out, sniffing the air, and he comes over to Arthur and just kind of plops against him.
Oh, that's a good boy. Oh, what a good boy.
and he eats the bat food.
And then a few minutes later, Abe's comes out, the large bugbear friend of yours. And he comes out and he just kind of rubs his stomach a little bit and pats it and, hello, my friend.
Oh, shit. Where'd you come from?
Abe, some of us can't see in the dark. Hello.
You've done very well, yes.
Mostly.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Did you get what you were looking for?
Hopefully.
We think so.
Actually, I'd like to know if we did. Can I just really quick? Val, can I see the front of the books now? Because I only got to see the spines before.
Yeah, all right.
There's no writing on the outside of the books. You'd have to pour through it a little bit if you want to.
Fuck, damn it. All right, we'll deal with it later.
Let's wait till we're somewhere that we can see.
Are you ready to go home?
Yes.
Yes.
Very much so.
Please and thank you.
Excellent. Let us go. So it takes about a day still to get through this area, just like it did on the way to get back here. But Abe's guide you the entire way, and you spend your time with Abe's, and you get to know him a little bit better. He actually has loosened up a little more since the last time you saw him. I mean, he wasn't sure if you were ever coming back, but now that he sees you're actually really skilled and things, he seems to treat you a little more like a friend instead of just a passing acquaintance. And he'll start to even show you a few other techniques for surviving in here if you ever need to come back. So he kind of spends the day teaching you and guiding you as well. But a day later, you camp, you rest for the night. Adelaide will get a chance to look over the books and realize that, yes, you have all 3 volumes of the Grimoire.
Fucking God.
And you did exactly right.
Thank God.
Adelaide just walks away from everybody for a split second and just fuck yes.
Fist bump.
Just, probably shouldn't yell and shout here while we're still trying to get through, but...
Watch out for cave crabs.
Okay.
As you're walking away.
We will.
Thank you.
The Scuttleclaw.
Oh, they were called Scuttleclaws. That's right. You had it. I'm sorry.
They're
Look at
tasty.
you. So good.
Can we... Do you have any for us for the rest of the journey?
That's all I have, friends. And he gives you a bag full. Literally a sack full of...
Oh.
Thank you.
And as you grab the sack, they're still moving.
Oh. Someone else can hold those.
Best if cooked live.
I'll toss what is probably my last ration over to Nugget and give him some scritches.
Arthur.
It's worth it.
Take some to goblins. They like.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Abes.
The bats are very well trained except for mine, so I would keep 4 of them.
Oh, okay. Very good. If they're still there. All right. So then you guys...
be well, Abes. Thank you for your help.
Yes. Very good to see you again, friends. Hope to see you again. Maybe next time I come to visit you.
Sounds good.
Be careful and maybe ask to talk to proctors, and you can name us. You might get somewhere that way.
Yes.
Excellent.
And make the bird noise.
We'll make the bird noise, yes.
Make the bird noise, so he said.
Caw.
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 Caw. Good luck, friends. Your journey should be safe from here.
Thank you, Abe.
And he's not wrong. Your journey is relatively safe from there. You continue a little ways, and you run into a few goblins who recognize you, and they sort of come over and ask how your journey was. You've been gone for, what we term, 7-8 days at this point since last you left, and you're back. You pass through the Goblin City. You probably stay there for a little bit, trade some of your
The Scuttleclaw meet with Pugnut.
the Scuttleclaws.
Is he the governor now, or yet? No.
In 7 days? No, I don't think so.
Pugnut for president.
He's got a key to the city.
He isn't working in the fields anymore, though.
Aww. While we stay there, Adelaide is going to sincerely sit down with those books and at least start skimming through them to sort of get a sense, and maybe ask Bonnie to help identify them if there's anything particularly special about them.
Bonnie will quietly sit down with her and help. If it's in a language I can't comprehend languages will at least even let me read it if I don't understand.
And Val would actually sit with them also, just in case any of the information in it is divine in nature, because then she'd be able to help them with it. And because she's curious what the fuck is in these books.
He almost got blown up for it.
These 3 books are 3 volumes that talk about the nature of the elemental planes, which is most of common knowledge. That's the first one. The second one talks about its denizens and what you can expect to exist there, including what resources and value are there. And the third one talks only about opening portals between here and there. Something that is really unheard of except through powerful magics. This seems to include rituals and how to open permanent connections between the planes, including creating actual manifestations of it here on our plane. Let's say you wanted a volcano here. You could tap into the elemental plane and literally put a volcano maybe under the ocean and have it create an island.
Does anyone else think that this last volume is a little dangerous?
Yes, I would rather it be stored somewhere safe and understood in case something like this ever happened. This is insanely complex. I'm impressed.
So, just full disclosure, Adelaide, I trust you as a proctor.
All right.
But given that someone sent other people in also to go after the Grimoire and didn't even give them all the information they needed to not get killed, I'm a little concerned about just handing this over to Birchfield without finding out who we're giving it to.
I agree. I want to have a talk with somebody and see. I mean, Ritvin said that they'd sent another group down because they didn't think we could cut it.
Which means that I don't think that they're likely to trust us with whoever's most interested in this elemental grimoire.
So what are you proposing?
That we copy the information in the books before we give it to them. That way the knowledge is not all in one place.
How thick are the books? Again, you said like 2-3 inches?
Yep.
We'd only need to copy the last one, it looks like.
Just to give you an idea, on some of these pages, there's probably 1,000 different small arcane marks in some of these circles. To copy them perfectly, with perfect accuracy, would take a very long time. Weeks.
Damn.
I trust the Institute. At least, I trust that there are people there that we can trust. I do want to know who went over our head, and I don't have an intention of letting them take any credit or have any access to this if possible, but...
Yeah, it's very shady that they sent other people in and didn't even say anything.
They don't have the books, though.
That is true.
It's more political to send a higher level group. Maybe we were that group's backup, and they didn't trust them.
All things we can clear up when we get there.
Just saying, let's see what happens.
I think this is proof that we can handle ourselves, and maybe they'll give us a bit more credit next time.
I agree.
But I'm going to be very
very concerned if there are multiple people in the Birchfield vying for this, or if this is all for the common goal.
Well, who at Birchfield would you trust? I mean, obviously we've had contact with Robin, but do you trust Robin?
I trust Ig.
He gave us stuff. He gave us used stuff.
Oh.
That's fair, but do you have, like, a mentor that you trust? It's maybe someone that was teaching the, like, Proctor intro classes that you were taking?
I know a couple professors. I can ask around.
Do you know any librarians?
Not personally.
If they know where books are kept.
Fair. That sounds like a very good idea.
For now, I need to get out of these leather pants.
Still no shirt?
Still no shirt.
Adelaide will offer we'll offer him she has a common linen tunic. He can roll the sleeves up.
He will tear one of the sleeves off of the shirt and put it into a bandana and, like, wrap the bandana around his head.
Looks good.
Tear the other sleeve off and put it in the pocket and then put on the sleeveless shirt.
It's a good look.
That's gonna go on your tab.
That's fine.
Common doesn't mean inexpensive in my book.
Oh. My mistake.
Bonnie, if we do get compensated financially, you can have some of mine to purchase your new everything.
We wouldn't have gotten through that city without you.
That's very true, and the same goes for you, Merrick. I mean, obviously, maybe what we should do is get you guys what you need, and then after that, we split the money. Because that way we can make sure you have weapons and gear, because that is awful.
Yeah, I'm pretty useless right now.
Give me a day. She'll hand Bonnie her rapier.
Thanks.
Give me a day when we get back, and then we'll talk about splitting. I'll see what I can do.
Yep. Not count on chickens.
They don't do property insurance until you get to silver or higher. But maybe I can talk to somebody. And that was facetious.
All right. So I'm assuming we spend a day in Smushton, maybe recovering.
So yeah, do you guys spend a day in Smushton, and you see your very good friend?
Pugnut.
Adelaide also check the foreman, see if he's doing the wagon thing. That she helped him with the wagon design.
Yeah, they started putting a prototype together. But yeah, so Pugnut is very happy to see you guys. Right. Oh, you guys are back. Welcome.
Thank you.
Hi, Pugnut.
How'd you do? Did you get everything you needed? Oh, nice dress.
Thanks.
It evened out in the wash, I think.
The dress?
You're not supposed to wash silk.
Yeah, I don't... What?
I'm gonna just stop using idioms around you people. It never seems to end well.
Okay.
It's all right, Pugnut. We achieved our ultimate goal, and there were some things we had to pay along the way, but we're good overall.
Oh, everything costs money.
Nobody died. That's my top standard for did we do all right.
That's good.
Well, no named characters died.
In this episode.
Well, I'm very glad that you guys are okay.
Us too.
Well, thank you, Pugnut.
Thank you.
You look sad, Bonnie. What's wrong?
My only items from home are gone.
Oh, that's very sad. Like what?
Like my mom's violin she gave to me before I left.
Oh.
And all my money. And everything. But I have a very pretty dress and or borrowed rapier, so I'm not too bad. And she just kind of chuckles half-heartedly.
Okay. You lost all your clothes too, huh?
Yep.
I'd offer you a pair, but some of it's on Merrick's head right now.
It's okay.
That pretty jacket of yours too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Pugnut.
You guys will be here for, what, half a day? Day?
Sure.
As long as you'll have us.
We can take a rest.
Yeah, we're probably gonna rest for at least a day.
Oh, I'll get you guys set up. I got a place you can stay, okay?
Sounds good.
Thank you.
All right, I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. My drinks are on
Thanks,
me.
Pugnut.
Can you serve the scuttle claw for dinner?
Sure. Yes, Scuttle Claw, absolutely.
Thank you.
We'll do a nice big feast with half the town.
Oh, in your house?
No, hell no. Like 3 people fit in my house.
I would have been very impressed how you've come up in the world since.
Yeah, not that far. I have a tub now. That's about it.
Well, that's nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Indoor plumbing.
It's Pugnut's tub.
Yeah, they're calling me Tub Nut now.
I was going to say.
So he goes off, and later that night, he and a bunch of people bring out tables. They put this big old table all the way down the center of the street in Main Street, and they pull out these large cauldrons and build these fires down the street, and they just start boiling by the dozen. The scuttle things. What are they called? Damn it! I named them too.
Scuttle claw.
Scuttleclaw.
Scuttle claws, and they start fishing them out. They're just like they just basically pour full boils of this onto the table. Boil is such an appropriate word for these, and they're just piles of these and smaller creatures as well, smaller insectoids that they're boiling, and they're just all over the table. Like they take these little cockroach-looking things and they pop the heads off. They suck the juice out of the head and then they eat the body. They have just tons and tons of food and these tubers, these cave tubers. They've got just dozens of those and onions and turnips and things, and of course smush wine for days. All the smush wine is available. Mike, you freaking out over there? What's up?
I rolled to see if I was enjoying myself on all this stuff, and I rolled a natural 20.
Nice.
So I
This
love
is the most excited you've ever seen Arthur.
all this food.
Arthur's all like Lost Boys from Hook with the
Yes.
imaginary food. Like, that's how fucking excited he is.
I'm trying everything multiple times.
What? So afterwards, Smush Nut.
Oh my!
Pugnut comes over.
It's whatever you want to
It's a
call
whole
him.
different
He's
type of
good.
tub.
That's his cousin. Smushnut, Tubnut, Pugnut.
Bonnie, we really want to thank you all for everything that you've done for the town. So we took up a collection, and we know you lost everything, and here you go. And he puts a little bag in front of you. It's not a lot, but they put that. And well, I actually had this start making for when you'd come back through, but well, you're here now, so I can give it to you. I had them finish it up real quick, and he pulls out this beautiful, very dark green, almost black, with kind of this goldish trim jacket and this big sash belt with this copper detailing all the way around it, and some embroidery on each arm.
This is beautiful. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
I love it.
I thought you'd like it. I started having it made when you left because I wanted to thank you properly, for helping us out.
She gives him a big hug.
I'll hug you back. Anyway, thank you guys very much.
Right, my arm is an 18-inch. My neck is about 6.5.
You can just take the sleeve off his head to find my size.
We only made one for Bonnie. Sorry.
That's fine.
Pugnut,
Yeah?
do you guys have a clothing store in town that sells nice clothes?
We don't really do stores like that. They're not that big.
We will handle it when we get back home.
Sorry.
It's all right. During the dinner, Adelaide's gonna flip through that third tome. She's gonna sort of like sit off to the side away from where all the food is probably splashing around, for lack of a better descriptor. And she's going to copy into her journal if there's any table of contents or like sense of how it's organized. She'll at least start writing down what it basically entails in that third tome.
Okay, sure.
Val eats a lot of the tubers and vegetables, and maybe like a scuttle claw or two. She doesn't touch the cockroaches.
Okay.
Adelaide would have asked during the evening if Pugnut and the others had seen 2 bats flying. through town, or if they had seen the dwarf and the water genasi come through.
Nope, nothing like that.
Great.
They did come through like a few days ago, I guess, but they outskirted the town, just walked around. They didn't go through.
After us?
No, before you. Like, say 8 or 9 days ago. 2 or 3 days before you came through.
Oh, okay. All right.
But I guess the scouts didn't quite tell us until after you guys showed up. They're like, oh yeah, there were some other strangers too. Like, what the hell?
Bureaucracy, I understand. It's hard to get information sometimes between agencies.
We don't really have a lot of scouts. It's just children that happen to see things, so, you know. Well, have fun.
All right, well, thank you. All right, yeah.
All right. And after that, you guys wrap up. And they send you on your way, very Wizard of Oz style. They follow you kind of to the outskirts of town, and you guys start heading back up. And a little while later, you are starting to climb the moss-covered stairs back up to the top, where you're going to be facing your greatest foe, the climb down. You have Featherfall.
We have a waterfall. Create barrel.
There's sharp rocks at the bottom.
Could just jump and see how it goes. No.
And you guys get down. I'm not gonna have you guys fall. There's no real failure at this point, other than you may fall. I mean, who cares?
Minor injuries at most.
Yeah, exactly. At this point. And that's it. So you guys are starting to exit the forest, and it's going to be a long day, but you can push through and make it before dark, which I'm assuming is the goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as you are on the outskirts of the city, finally coming kind of into view, as you're kind of overlooking the city, you see that there's a couple of pillars of smoke within the city. A couple of fires look like they're burning.
When finals are ahead or class is getting you down, you can count on WAND Radio to be your study solution.
Send us your questions about magical mishaps or tune in for the latest music on the mythical airwaves.
Make sure you tune in for the latest tournament results and where to find the best parties on campus. And maybe the latest test answers, too.
You don't even go here.
Never let your schooling interfere with your education, Rupert.
WAND Radio. Magic, music, and mayhem. On nerdsmith.org or wherever you download your podcasts. We are not inciting mayhem on this week. It's a terrible